I just want to start this video by saying I'm sorry. I got a new camera. Just so you know, it's got this lens is amazing. It's pretty good. I'm gonna wreck it probably. My biggest problem with it is I can't get far enough away from the camera. It's always right in my damn face. So just know that this is what's coming and it will get better. Maybe, I don't know. Here we go. Thanks for coming back. If you're new to the channel, this is my build. 1954 Belair, 2003 Chevy 2500 HD chassis. Glued together. If you watched the last video, I'll drop a link in the description. We got this bitch running. Yes! To run it more than 3 seconds at a crack, I gotta on the computer and figure out how to delete the VATS, which is I believe the vehicle anti-theft system, so it'll run for more than 3 seconds. But before I can do any of that, I gotta get my radiator mounted. So that's the recap, that's the plan. Let's cut this off and start building some shit. Yeah? Yeah. Ooh, cobwebs. Smart guy probably would have had the socket ready to go here, right? Something. How am I gonna do this? Whoa, there's a chance this side wasn't ready. Now, it would be nice if I could have like a radiator that was built for the 54 Belair, but that's a lot of money. Next best thing, I'm gonna try and see if I can't somehow make this stock radiator from the stock chassis work between the fenders. So that means I gotta get the fenders hung on this thing and see where we are for room, because she gets pretty tight right in here. So I had these fenders on here once before, and I had all the nuts and washers and bolts sitting on my frame rail. Well, I'm lazy, and those were the easier bolts to get for other projects, so now I'm suffering. Honestly, it might just be easier to go buy new stuff. My unorganized nuts and bolts collection is getting very depleted. Very depleted. Quick trip to the hardware store, we're golden on bolts. How is the best way to do this? I don't know that I'm necessarily going to use the original mount that came with this thing, but it's a good starting point to get everything set up for myself, so we're going to put it in. As I've said before, when you're by yourself all the time, you have to get creative. I gotta find ways that make things work. Ah, stop! Don't you do it. That one's pulling my paneling down. May not have been the best location for securing that strap, and that point was too far away, so I'm gonna shut up now and try and get this attached before it slides off the end. Ah! I don't like it. It's making noises I don't like. Whoa, Jesus, it's falling all the way down. It's fine, it's under control. No, it's not. I just gotta get them attached, that's all I gotta do. Of course you would have thought I would have had everything ready to go here, but I didn't. It's basically useless, so you can come down. Trust the process, folks. Just trust the damn process. You just gotta figure it out sometimes. So if I do this, I can roughly find the center point here, and then I can hook this on here and I can adjust up and down, and it's gonna be perfect. So there's a chance I don't really know what I'm doing here. And if you ever see this car in person, the gaps may not be perfect per se, but the car will be functional. Now where do you suppose I put the bolts for that? I just fixed it this morning, but where did I put the bolt? I remember I had it in my pocket when I was at the hardware store getting the other bolts, but I really don't remember what I did with it after that. No, I didn't find it. Found another one. Good enough for me. Does that gap look good? Probably not. That looks better. You know, I'll probably go through and weld all this together and bond to it and make sure the gap is... that. All I really care is the door opens and closes. That's literally all I care about. There's so many bad welds on this car. Do you think anybody's gonna notice the door gap? No. Can I make this radiator fit? I could notch the frame a little bit more. I think I can make this work. Just gotta figure out if this is, I don't know if this is the right angle or hanging low or high or what. I might gotta make that stock radiator work. It's big. I can't get back far enough with this camera, but it's in there. Ah, this isn't working. I can take and notch that frame a little bit down to the bottom and lower the radiator too. And then I'd have all kinds of room. This could actually work, people. I can't imagine that that hood takes up any more room than the fenders do on the inner side there. Hell yeah. So here's where I'm struggling. I'm trying to get this as squared and centered as possible because I don't have, obviously, the stock mounting location. And maybe that's where I need to start. Maybe I need to just mount this in a stock location that it works. I don't know. But in my brain, here's what I'm cooking up. I figure these two body mount locations have got to be in the same location. So if I can get a distance from them to the fenders, I should be good. But the next problem is these fenders aren't straight. They have a curve to them. So therefore, if I'm measuring at the exact same spot on the frame to a different part of the fender because it's shifted left or right a little bit, it's never gonna square up for me. So here's my solution to this dilemma. I'm gonna try and get it as square as I can, measuring off of the frame down here with the straight edge up on both sides, lock that bitch in and build from there. So how do I do this here now? How do I do it so it's the same? See, clearly where this side's already further over, so that's already part of the problem. This side, in fact, is over a good ½ inch. But is that correct? And the other side's wrong. I don't know. This is why it takes me forever, because I don't know the answers to these questions. And I took my GoPro apart, I can't find the rest of the pieces, so that's perfect. This side looks like it's drooped. This side actually looks pretty damn good. Except for it looks like it's too far that way. I don't know how to do this. I think the left to right's actually pretty good right now. Just so much flex and everything. Right there, this is a ½ inch high and that's a ½ inch low. So there's a ½ inch difference. You know, that's gonna suck. Maybe I need to put that piece on there. Maybe that's the ticket. Because then that'll bolt this back together. Ah, now we're thinking. So the obvious smart thing to do when you're building a car and you know you're gonna, well, let me get this before I get impaled with that. When you know you're gonna be building the car in the wintertime is to make sure you get all your parts under dry storage so they, you know, they're not covered with 2 feet of snow or more. This seems vaguely familiar, like I've been here before. Oh, I don't even know where in this debacle the parts I want are. That kind of has the shape of a hood. Maybe I start, I don't know. The kid's been piling snow on top of it, so that's even more helpful. Let me, yeah. A little update for you. It wasn't the hood. It was the trunk. But the hood was underneath it, so I got that going for me. I mean, it's not the piece I was after, but I'm gonna need it, so I'm gonna get that inside too. But I did find the piece I want. It's right there on the very bottom of the pile. So that's awesome. Well, I got them inside. Hood not quite ready for it yet, but at least it can thaw out and melt off. This is the piece I was really after. This bolts onto those front fenders. While it's heavy and cold and covered in snow a little bit yet, what I think I could do is just take a measurement and, you know, take a measurement from one side to the other and figure out what that distance is and apply that to the front and golden. God, I'm a problem solver. So this measures 40.5 on center. And I'm at 40. So it's a good thing I didn't just go and buzz this in because this ain't gonna work. I gotta splay these out a little bit, one way or the other. To make it easier for me, because that's who I care about at this point, is to somehow lift that pig of a grill up there and bolt it on. And, you know, we got this point up here figured out. This is the stock point. We'll have this point down here figured out. That'll be a stock one. And then it's just a matter of side shifting it to get it. Maybe I can even put the hood on to figure that out. And then I can just, you know, support it all with welding shit. Come on. You can't tell me this isn't looking badass. Whoa, fuck. See what I can find for bolts here, I guess. So I was debating, do I try and riv nut some nuts into these things? Do we just try one and see? I mean, it should at least help me get it started. Whether I have enough 1/4 inch bolts to make this work is another question. I'm doing it. I've got 2 bolts and 2 fender washers. That's at least enough to get it hung up there. Hell yeah. It's all gonna have to come apart again anyway, so when I do that, I will put more riv nuts in and I will do it right. I mean, less wrong? I don't know. I'm gonna have to cut a bunch of this off to get the radiator to fit. Honestly, the hood latch is probably gonna have to go too. One thing at a time though. My brain can only handle so much here. That fender washer's too big. There's a lip under there it catches. Damn it! Don't like that washer, but it's all I can find. That's come on. I mean, it's f***ing badass. I'm sorry, I just needed a minute. I was in awe. I like it. I went and popped some of these bad boys in here. They're not, I mean, just, it's not permanent, folks, so ignore the holes and burn through marks. It doesn't matter. But it's basically gonna hold my fenders steady for me. Fingers crossed. Then I can take this all apart now. I can even take this bracket out and the fenders shouldn't move. Let's hope, maybe, kind of. I'm praying. Now the reason I did that is because this bracket, it isn't working in its current configuration and setup. It needs to be modified. So I figure once I get this all taken apart, I'm gonna cut this apart. I gotta make some kind of, I just gotta do things. I don't know how to explain it. Things have to happen. All right, let's take this bitch apart. Easy does it. Stop falling. We're just gonna put these bolts right back in here, or I am guaranteed to lose them later. Now where can I put this where it's completely in the way? I can probably get rid of this now, actually. Where did I put the wrench, you suppose? I would have used it right here. Well, what in the... I'll find it later. Right now I just want to make progress, so I'll get another one. Bada bing, bada boom. Whatever I decide to do here needs to be removable like this, because getting that motor in and out is going to be key. It's unfortunately going to have a rough life and may need some repairs. So I got to make it easy for Simon to work on. How do I do this? I probably should have figured this out before I took it out, actually. Genius. What I do. I fucked up a lot. So right there, that's where I need my mount. You can't see that, just take my word for it. Right there. How do we mark that? What do we do? That's gonna be the center of it. 17 3/4. 3/4. Going with it. Well, after some cutting, grinding, and welding, I came up with this. No, it's not pretty, but it's functional and it's completely removable. And it should be good, I hope. I mean, I've made nicer looking things, but sometimes you gotta use what you got. And I literally just cut up the old bracket and made this. It'll bolt to the frame. I welded a stud right to the frame. It'll bolt to there. It lines up perfect with those holes. I'm gonna make another one for the other side. And then I'll probably even make a cross piece that connects the two just to hold that distance. I mean, this is pretty rigid. It's pretty, I mean, I don't think it's gonna flex at all. She's stout is what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but we'll see. I'm gonna make the other one and then we're gonna go from there. There's a little wiggle there now. I'm gonna put this on and then we'll see how much wiggle it has. My money don't jiggle. It folds. No, I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, it's got a little wiggle in it, but I think once this all gets bolted together, I think it's gonna be fine actually. Oh, remember that missing bolt?
Now,
I just found it.
I put the bolt.
I don't know why it was in my back pocket. Whatever. Let's make another one of these bitches.
Woo-hoo!
Progress! I love it. I just lost my piece I took off. Oh, there it is. Hell yeah! I don't know if this is the accurate way to do this, but it's what I'm doing. Ugh. That's awesome. My marker's been laying in whatever fluid that is. We'll just do a little choppy. I highly don't recommend doing that with no gloves, no block, and no glasses. But I did it anyways. I know I'm taking this off and putting it on and taking it off and putting it on and taking it off and putting it on. It's just how it happens sometimes. This will come off again, guaranteed. I think I'm just gonna try and duplicate the one I made for that side. So even though they may not look pretty, at least they'll look the same. I suppose it could help if I had it plugged in here. My bad. That is a super straight cut. Perfect. Smart guy probably would have ground some clean metal on that before he put that back on there. I'm not a smart guy. Where do you suppose I put the rest of it now? There's that piece. Oh, there it is. There was a time where I never used to grind the crap off the metal. I used to figure, burn that shit through, it'll be fine. Then I learned, it's easier just to grind it off the metal. Let's give this a go. The right helmet's probably a good idea. Probably should turn my gas on. Make my shitty welds look a little less shitty. That's better. This is some more of that precise measuring I like to do. Right on the money. Oh, I gotta make that hole bigger. I forgot. Oh, better. Okay, I should be okay now to take this all out, weld it up solid, put the bitch back on. But first I'm gonna make that measurement. 30 inches on center. We're just gonna jot that down so I don't forget. out here. It really loves them hunched over positions. Why did we lose power? I think my cord is acting up here. We're just gonna play the safe game and put it down. I didn't need to go and grind all that. I'm not trying to hide my welds. I know my welds aren't great. It's more or less so I don't cut myself on shit. I'm just not trying to slip my wrist open when I'm working on the damn thing. I don't know. I'm gonna cut them other braces out of there and just be done with it. I mean, these new mounts I built just essentially do the same exact thing. Yep, I'm cutting them out. This one's way more secure than this one for some reason. You know how much sleep I'm gonna lose over that? 0. Still at 30 inches. I can live with that. Now I can see if my radiator's gonna fit in here. That's what started this whole goddamn process anyways. Okay, so that fender looked like it moved out a little bit. We'll get the fine tuning figured out. Once I bolt this in, it'll locate the width, it'll be fine. Yep, I definitely think I'm gonna be able to make this work. I'm thinking, hear me out now, give me a chance. Thinking I might just notch the frame down a little bit, and then this could kind of like sit down there in like a little C channel. And that would lower it just a little bit more. It's like it was just meant to be. It's just all coming together. I'm trying to find somewhere to put my brake line where it's completely out of the way. I might end up just making a new brake line and rerouting it all together. There's a good chance I may have some, you know, weld beads splatter, if you will, burned into it, and I'm a little nervous it's gonna leak anyways, so there's that. I can't go too far forward with my notch because, you know, that damn steering gear is right there. But I just drop it right where it's at. Just take it down. Just go, monk. Drop. I mean, these body mounts might as well go at this point. They're useless. I'm not going to use them for anything. This is going to work though. This Silverado radiator is going to work in the 1954 Belair. Guaranteed. Sure made quick work of that. Damn. So now that I got the mounts out of the way, I've ground this down. I didn't do that for any other reason other than it's easier to mark shit when it's clean metal. And this side was all covered with oil or power steering fluid or something, I don't know. Probably oil with the way those lines look. So now I can set my radiator back up in there and we can start kind of like doodling where we want to remove material from and dropping that radiator down. Ain't gonna lie, it would be kind of nice to have an extra set of hands for this part. But we'll make her happen. Oh, you dirty little... Oh, you were perfect. I think that's what we're going with. That's what we're gonna do, whether it's right or wrong. Because if it's wrong, I'll just fix it. Like usual. Uh-huh. I wonder if I shouldn't, yeah, if I put a doohickey. Uh-huh. I know what I'm talking about, that's all that matters. It's about, it's about 3.5 inches wide, so I think I'm just gonna go 4 so I got plenty of clearance. Because I hate a tight hole. No? I think that's wrong. Oh, that's a good 2-inch drop there. Oh, that's not gonna work. That whole plan that I just put together, not gonna work. If I go and my line was gonna be right here, if I drop that down, it's gonna run into that. So that's not, god damn it, that's not gonna work. So I gotta figure that in. I wish I had reference points on both sides that were the same. That would be soups helpful. Oh, that might actually work. Okay. We got this. We're getting this. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm an idiot. This radiator's skinny in the middle. So by the time it even gets that steering box, it's already dropped back an inch. I'm just gonna cut it and see what happens. Stop overthinking it and just do it. Yeah, some of it's freehand, some of it's like connect the dots. We just make things happen. It's fine. Just doing the best I can with the skills I have. Completely missed my line. It's like frickin' butter. It's beautiful. Next! Put your hand steady in your hand. She's free. She's just a tight fit. It's frickin' awesome. Sweet! I feel I should let that cool a little bit before I put that plastic and aluminum radiator up there. Let's see how we look. Come on. Get in there. Alright, what I got going on is the mounts, which we can work with. The mounts fall almost perfectly with the outside of the frame rail. So I may have to notch that down a little bit to make that work. And I'll probably tie that into the blah 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 blah. What do you call it? The radiator mount. I'll make it all one thing. Are we low enough now for that hood? That is my main question. We're just gonna notch it right there, and we want to go right there now. I'm gonna take an inch. I'm gonna take an inch. I don't have to utilize it all, but I want it there if I need it. A little extra room is not a bad thing. If I could mark the right goddamn spot. Jesus. Basically just gonna go between all my lines. If you close one of your eyes and tilt your head, she looks straight. Nobody's gonna see it anyways, it's fine. It's all about the function. Lost my gloves. Where did I put my gloves? Honestly, that cut you would have thought I was on the Time Bandit out at sea. She's a little wavy. Whatever. I think I'm plenty far in. Like it. Now we just gotta mount it. Are we missing that? I mean, we're close to the steering gear, but I think it's gonna be fine. So I need to make something for this to sit in. What do we think? What do we think, huh? Okay, I've taken a break. Like most things, this has really made me scratch my head on how the to do this, but I think I got it figured out. I'm just gonna side shift it a little bit. That'll put that mount right in the center of the frame. This mount off to the side a little bit. No big deal. That moves this hose back to probably a more central location. I'll work with it. It may cause problems with my oil cooler lines. Kind of had planned on blocking them off anyways, unless I could have made them work. So I'm not really that worried about that at all, actually. So that's neither here nor there as a problem. This side, the biggest benefit for sliding this radiator over is it gives me room. I don't know if you can see that down there. But I was really struggling for room for my radiator hose, my lower radiator hose. It was too tight to the frame. I wasn't gonna be able to get anything on that. So now everything is further over. And now I can easily make a mount for this. I'm just gonna drop the whole thing down, probably another inch, and start welding some shit and put it in. I'm done looking at it. It's time to just start doing it. I've just gotta figure out the best way to get the same level of cut here. Because measuring from the ground is not really a viable option with this setup. But we'll get there. Wait, did I need to? Yes. And we're gonna take more out of there. Just keep cutting, cutting, cutting until it all fits. Gonna try and save on my back here a little bit and sit. I was trying to be extra careful not to burn through my steering gear there. Nothing fits. Well, we're just kind of wing it. Pretty goddamn close. We'll just do the high side of that one. It's like a 1/16 to an 1/8 off, so can always make it up in the mount. It's fine. I can tell you who's not gonna lose any sleep over it. I need more light. I can't see. Perfect. Now I just blinded myself, so I got a blind spot, so that'll be helpful. I should put the radiator up there and make sure I'm actually marking the right location instead of just guessing. Come on. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room now. That hood should fit no problem. I think I'm just gonna work one side at a time so I don't confuse myself. You know, that's sitting nice and down in there now. I'll build a plate across there. That'll mount onto there. I'll build the mount out here for this one. It's gonna be perfect. Should have counted how many times I've had this damn thing in and out of here. Sheesh. On dirt roads much? Where do you suppose I put that other bushing? Huh? Where would I have put that? Oh boy, Simon. You're always making things harder for yourself. I've had it all day. Now it's just gone. I mean, seriously, what the fuck? I found it. It's right here. I don't want to talk about it. What I'll do is I'll get the mounts made, the radiator fit, then I'll go through and I'll rebox the frame so it's all filled back in. I maybe should have marked how far in that was, maybe. I'm gonna say about 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch on center-ish. I'd just like to take a second to note the extra effort I'm taking for a good fit. This is out of the norm for me. I think that really goes to show I'm learning things. Look at that. It's zero. I'm not going to show you because you might expect that out of me more often. And we can't have that. Same. Perfect. Now he's gonna do this side. That's pretty good for me. I mean, most of my radiators and custom mounts end up sitting on a piece of radiator hose. So to have a stock mount in there, I'm pretty impressed with myself. Oh, and this hasn't been recording, so that's fucking beautiful. This just stopped. It just fucking stopped. No reason. It's just fucking stopped. No more GoPro today, I guess. I'm just gonna let the GoPro cool off for a while. Maybe that's the problem. It's just too hot. I don't know. We're gonna give the GoPro another try. My other camera's still set up, but it's so freaking awesome. The lens is so cool. I can't get far enough away from everything to show you what's going on. So until I get a lens situation figured out, I gotta still work with the GoPro. Fingers crossed it holds out. The camera cooled down, switched the batteries. We should be okay, I hope. I don't know. But I got busy. I've been busy. Just because the camera's been on break doesn't mean I've been on break. Look at that. Finished her out. Bloxed her. Bloxed. The hell does bloxed mean? Boxed it all in, both sides. This side's still wet because I just cooled it off with some snow. Hopefully when I put the radiator back in it still works, because that would be embarrassing if, no, it wouldn't be embarrassing. You're used to that now. This side I put a little gusset on it because, you know, that was kind of hanging way out there in no man's land, so I wanted to make sure she was good and wasn't going to start to sag on me. And now I got to start working on the tops. Somehow I haven't got a plan for that, and this took me all day. Probably spent 2 hours just trying to come up with a plan of how I was going to do it. God, this is time consuming. I would like to use the stock mounts on top as well. My dilemma is this side has the stock bushing, grommet, isolator, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I did with that side. I chucked it. I don't know. Probably check my bolt bin that I have from taking the truck apart just to make sure it's not in there. But I'm not holding my breath on that deal. Apparently I went to the parts store today and they can't get one. So I'm gonna try and get to the junkyard unless I can be creative and come up with a solution. But we'll see what I come up with. And here we go. Kerplunk! Fits just like it's supposed to. It's gotta be something. I bet I can make that work. Definitely think I can make that work. It isn't gonna locate it very well for me, but I don't think that matters. I mean, 3 out of 4 located, it can't move. It has to stay where it's at. I'm gonna use it. This Let me show you what I found. Can't believe I still had this, but then again, I don't throw much away. At some point, I had bought another set of breathers for the top of my 454 valve covers. They come with a rubber grommet for going into the valve covers, like so. Well, I didn't need them because I already had them. This rubber grommet fits damn near perfect in there. Now, like I said, it's elongated, so I can't, you know, I can't locate with it, which is fine. It won't let it go up and down because it's plenty snug. I put a bolt in the middle of that. That's an all-day win right there, fellas. All-day win. Using it. Now all I gotta do is come up with the top mounts. I'm probably gonna tie them off with these Fender mounts somehow. It just seems like the easiest way to do it, and I'm all about easy. I wanted this radiator so it couldn't, you know, I'm only one person here, so I wanted it level while I built my mounts. Well, I could hold it level, but then my hands were tied up, so I couldn't build my mounts. So what did I do? Put a strap on it, pulled it back so it was level, but then it pulled it too far and I couldn't get it to sit where I wanted it. So then we hooked another strap on it, pulling it back that way, so now it's got tension on it, and now the radiator is level and it is ready to start building mounts. Perfect. I basically feel all of this stuff on the backside of this grill is useless to me and in my way. So she going bye-bye. Stop. No, stop. Well, this wasn't part of the plan. Are we gonna behave? Well, are ya? Probably should have left that part connected, actually. Ah, F it. God damn, I love this thing. I mean, perfect. Gotta make sure we got clearance for the radiator. I kind of forgot about that part. Once we do, I mean, it just hits a little bit where the tanks are, so we'll just customize some more. We now have oodles of room. Come on, stop. Huh. Where do you suppose that went? Nope, that's not it. What the fuck? That ain't it, but I bet it'll work. With the radiator in there, it's a little tighter, a little harder to see. There you are. Got it. Woo! I had thoughts of doing all kinds of crazy mounts here, like wrenches wrapped around. I'm running out of time. I don't have time. So we're gonna keep this simple and basic. Simple and basic. Let's just shut that off for a bit and let it cool off so it doesn't overheat on me again. Just keep grabbing more shit. It's coming to me. She's starting to sing what she wants. I got many ways to cut shit. In the words of my daughter, don't worry about it, everything's fine. Doing my best not to cut the nipple off. Nipple. I got me a plan. This rebar, my first failed doghouse attempt. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link here, there, somewhere. I don't know where it'll end up, but it'll be somewhere you can find it. I'm gonna use this, attach it like so, put a steel plate on the other end, drill a hole in that bitch, bolt it in, done. Simple, easy, quick. I like me some rebar. Let's go with there. Yep, that's a good measurement. Lost my mark here. Nope, found it. Oh, we need power. Lost my marker. There it is. We're gonna use the old eyeball measuring. Looks close enough. Yeah, that drill bit's junk. Don't know how that got put back on the rotation. That's what it's supposed to do. Perfect. Gloves first. Gotta put my gloves on. Try this again. There. Now it's kind of like it's holding it. Wonder if I shouldn't just nip these corners off now. So they're not the same angle. It's fine. Hot. So hot. I like it. I can't confirm that I may not have had one camera battery die, but two. What I can confirm is we now officially have a radiator mounted. I got this side whipped out real quick. I mean, this thing is pretty damn near solid. So I can even get rid of my helping hand here, I bet. Don't need them anymore. Let go. Bye-bye. And this thing is fully supported. I mean, it's rigid enough. Let's put it that way. Obviously, it's on rubber isolators. This one worked out perfect. I'm pretty proud of myself for that one. That one came in clutch, that's for sure. So this is basically done now. The only thing I gotta do is I'm still not sure. Are we gonna have clearance issues here? Or do we need to modify the hood a little bit? I don't know these things yet. I gotta buzz the hook off up there. Try and protect my old ass windshield here. We may be doing a little patchwork here. Whatevs. Ooh, those hinges need a little lubrication. Oh my god. Well, that's empty. We'll try and knock her loose. Much gooder. Not sure why it's leaking down the side of the can, but whatever. Let's go. Beans, I've already removed the latching system from the grill side of this. I think I'm just gonna go and remove it from the hood side, so it's not even an issue. I don't have to worry about it then, and it's just gone. Can we do the old flip it up and over? Don't scratch the paint! No problem. This is the first look with the hood on. She's sexy. Look at this thing. Oh god, we got miles of room. Not even a concern at this point. Hood's on, fenders are on, grill is on, radiator's in. I don't know what I'm doing next. Come back and find out. Thanks for watching.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out.